Up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said Draft. It is the draft edition. So we are here.
Oh, jeez.
Apologies to those who are watching the Sixers tonight. I know we're on during the Sixers, but you might not be missing much.
No.
Anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Off-season moves, drafts, what might be coming up with all these different teams. So let's hit it. What up, fellas?
Hey,
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's going
once
on?
again.
fellas?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? For those of you watching the Sixers, I'm sorry.
No.
Let's get flyered up. How about that?
Exactly, man.
I am
Get
ready.
flyered up.
Hockey playoffs have been
I
exciting.
wore my Rick Tocchet jersey on Friday.
you bought that out of it.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. You know he's the coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know he's the coach. Yeah.
So I was like, oh shoot. I was just looking through my attire and I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear this. And everybody's like looking. He's like, oh, I didn't know. People was just like, I didn't know you like hockey. I said, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, oh, because I'm black? I really made him feel bad. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, it's
Man,
real good
another-
playoffs right now. The first round is good on every team. I mean, Buffalo, Sabres, Avalanche,
Mhm.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah.
Playoff
Yeah.
hockey and Olympic hockey, it's been a treat this year. They said the numbers are through the roof. The
Yeah,
viewership,
man.
it's going up. So, but it's better than the Phillies. Your main team just beat our Phillies behinds pretty badly, so we won't even talk about
Yo, it's over before you even started, Sal. I mean, we're 11 games back already.
it. Yeah,
Dang.
11 games back, man.
Wow.
yeah, it's hard.
So I'm predicting Rob Thompson is going to get fired this week.
I think
I
so.
just
Yeah.
he can't do it. Put Don Manley in there, man. You know.
Well, him and Dave Dombrowski. Now, if you look at the teams who are the worst in the league, it's Boston and Philly. What's the connection? Dave Dombrowski was a GM for both. He destroyed the farm system, and then he paid these guys who are not as good all these overrated contracts. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it's bad. We could have
Same old.
Yeah,
At this point, like I said with Joe Embiid, I say you get rid of Harper, man, and you just start fresh.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
start fresh.
Yeah.
Start fresh, man. So
You couldn't trade Embiid for a bag of basketballs right now.
now you can.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about a real GM. Howie is in the building. Howie making some moves, fellas. Let's talk about the draft. So we hope he's not a lemon, but he fell in the draft. Interesting. You could have a debate. People are saying character issues or whatever. I'm like, please don't tell me this is AJ Brown 2.0. Like, don't even go
Stop.
there with this guy.
Stop.
So I mean, this guy hasn't even stepped on the field yet, and people are already going nuts. It's like, let's just let the guy get here. Let's see what he does. Let's just everybody relax. What do you guys think? This guy dropped for a reason. That how he have to reach, and out of all teams, he traded with the Cowboys to get him.
No. What I was reading is that the Cowboys called the Eagles like, "Yo, if you want to jump in front of us, Pittsburgh's about to take Lemon."
Yeah.
And then all that fell apart. And then I was watching him on the phone. I thought that was wild. He like, yo, why is Philly calling me? You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. I thought that was just hilarious. But I mean, you got mixed emotions around the nation, around Philly Nation, with this Lemon guy. They're comparing him to Steve Smith and also Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he plays the slot. But I just wish, and I don't know what was in the draft. I wish they would have had like a secondary version of AJ Brown, you know what I mean, with some strength, you know what I mean, ability to catch, and all that stuff. But like you said, Sal, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if Howie pulled this off, or do we have another Jalen Reagor?
Well, they said, ironically, you mentioned AJ Brown. Eli Stowers, they said, has that AJ Brown build for tight end.
Yeah.
He might be
Yeah, that was a good pickup. I mean, the tight end. I kind of mentioned
Mhm.
that. Like, let's get a tight end for the second pick, and they did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
This guy Lemon, man. I mean, from what his stats last year, he had over 1,000 yards receiving. He had about 12 TDs, 79 catches. So he's definitely been used, targeted. But you're right. Upsize wise, yeah, he's like he's a little under. He's not tall like AJ Brown, but he plays like a tall receiver, and he seems very aggressive. So we'll see how it fits in. So.
He has good separation though. That's what they say.
No, he does. He does.
Yeah,
have
he
good
gets off good
separation.
separation, but this is the NFL versus college.
Yeah, I mean, you're Nakua, or like you said, SRA. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, Mike, he's not going to take the top off of a defense. He doesn't have that breakaway speed, but like Jermaine said, does have that separation. What do you think? Do they reach a little bit for this one?
Well, it's funny. I was just thinking about it. You mentioned it when you said Dallas. Said, hey, you better jump in here. I almost feel like maybe you see those horror movies where like someone passes like a curse to another team. And, it's like Pittsburgh historically always drafts talented receivers that turn into head cases, right? And then did they just pass the curse on to the feet? Because they were just about to take them, right? And then here it is. The curse has been passed. But I guess it's just is it the right fit? Because I guess the big question now, what happens to AJ Brown? I mean, I guess it's a done deal, but it's not a done deal yet that he's gone. So what happens now? Well, what is his offense going to look like? With a guy who's not really an AJ Brown replacement. So I'm very curious to see how things are going to look. If AJ Brown is gone, let's see, like he is. What's the offense going to be like? What's Hurts going to look like? I'm very curious to see if this was the right guy to get, for the offense they want to run.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I mean, to me, it's like almost like a committee thing because, we got Hollywood Brown now. We also picked up the guy from it was not Green Bay. Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay. And of course, getting Devontae Smith more open now. We'll see how that works because now AJ's gone. They're going to be targeting him. So it's going to be like a wide receiver committee, I think. I mean, I think Lemons is probably a good fit. I won't say he's like great. He's not the shell of AJ Brown. I don't think nobody is, but he will help out to get maybe Devontae Smith to be the 1A.
But they say he's a dog. You know what I mean? They say he's got that dog mentality in him. He's got that dog in him, and that's what you want. That's what you want on this team. You got to have, and that's one of the things we've been missing on this team. Who's the dog on this team? You know what I mean? Who's gonna take over a locker room like a Brian Dawkins? And that's the person that you're missing, that personality in that locker room with all this craziness with AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. If Brian Dawkins was in there, all this nonsense would not be happening right now. Would not be happening. All this turmoil and stuff. So he says he's a dog. Let's see. Let's bring it.
Yeah, that's why you got BG in there, right? Jermaine, he's trying to take out Brandon Graham, baby.
Yeah. But there's another rumor that I was reading too. Also, is that New England picked a offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. And they was thinking that Howie's like, okay, well, we're gonna pull the trigger with AJ Brown after June 1st. So you give us that lineman. So they were saying that the Eagles wanted that lineman. So New England picked him. So that swap, I don't know. That's what the rumor is. Mm-hmm. That's what I read on social media. So if that's the case, and they picked that lineman, New England picked that lineman, he's another dog. They said, you know what I mean? I think he's on everybody's top of the list. As far as the mock draft,
the guy they projected that we were going to get Caleb. I can't see his name. Let me go find it real quick. But I know you're talking about.
Yeah. But they said he's a dog. Yeah, so we'll see.
Caleb Lemieux. I thought Caleb Lemieux was the. Yeah, they projected we would take him because we need offensive line help in the worst way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Last thing because y'all don't know what to do. Well, what are you doing with Trent Williams, Mike? I mean, Jesus Christ, what's going on over there?
You're going to extend him until he's like.
I just started laughing, man.
They're gonna keep extending him until arthritis takes over. I mean, it's just
Right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danny saying, "Will the real dogs please stand up?" Yeah, the real dog, Trent Williams, coming at Mr. Arthritis. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, he knows how to get his money, I will say. I mean,
Yeah,
him and
he
Kirk
does.
Cousins are two guys
Well,
that, when it comes to contracts, he gets paid.
Well, who the hell is his agent? Because he's getting them paid all the time, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same one as Kirk Cousins.
He just says, "I'm not showing up."
Probably. Yeah, you're right.
He says,
probably.
"I'm not showing up," and he means it. He's like, "I'm not showing up until you pay me." And he knows there's no hometown discounts. There's none of that stuff. It's just, I'm not playing. No, this pay me, and he sticks to his guns with that. For better or worse.
You guys mentioned Lyman. The Eagles did pick a couple. Markel Bell, huge guy out of Miami.
Yeah.
Michael Morris, who's a guard from Georgia, of course, Georgia. Another big one. There's a lot in here that was really good. But we haven't talked about the other big trade that Howie made. He gave it up 2 third-round picks for this guy. Mm-hmm. So Jonathan Grinner, guys, this guy came out of the Vikings, right? And a lot of people, he leads and pressures, and you get Jalen Carter, you get Davis, you get him. You got a formidable pass rush there that's going to be really tough to stop now. And he talked about dogs. I like this guy's mentality because he said he wasn't going to come in and just get sacks. Yes, he said that's important, but he said it's a team thing. We want to get pressure on the quarterback. And I liked hearing that. As a team, if we can get pressure on the quarterback, that's what we're looking for. So I liked hearing that. I think, Howie did give up some picks for him. He gave up 2 third rounds for him. The contract is $50 million guaranteed, 4 years, $100 million overall. Not a bad pickup. What do you guys think of picking up Jonathan in the 3rd round?
Great value. I mean, they saved about $25 million because what's his name? Jalen Phillips got what? How much did he get?
I think 125, right?
125?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a good value. And I think they was aiming for him when they know they was going to lose. As soon as what's his name? What's his name? Carter Daniels? What is his name? I forgot his name. The edge rusher that went to Carolina. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I was confused.
He didn't really do a whole lot. He had one good game.
That's all he had was one good game, and that was it.
And when they was asking him, when he was asking for that money, and I'm glad how he said no, because I really didn't want him anyway. If he was coming in dirt cheap, I still didn't want him. Because like Mike said, he really didn't do anything when we traded for him, So I like it. I like the value. You know what I mean? Yeah. I believe he's young. And coming off the edge, that like you said, Sal, that line is going to be a beast if everybody could just stay healthy and whatnot and keep their head in the game, Jalen Carter. You know what I mean? So
I think he will. It's his pay year.
I was reading something I thought was interesting that talked about how he gave it up 2/3 because people was like, wow, that's kind of steep. And then they've talked a lot about this draft and NIL and impact he's had on college. That after like that 1st and 2nd round, the money starts to not make sense to leave college now. So you're starting to see it crept. I was reading that last year it crept up more into the 6th and 7th round. You started seeing a whole lot less talent available, and they said it's starting to creep more into even the earlier rounds where you're starting to see 3rd and 4th. The depth is not there like it was in the past. You're really not finding gems. So Howie's like trading 2/3 is like really trading 2 like number 6 round picks really. To get a guy like Renard for 2/3 that right now next year it hasn't it'll balance out with the whole NIL thing. Eventually people will have to graduate and leave school, but until that time now 3rd round picks don't look all that great.
Right.
Yeah, well, how he's going to play the compensation game, guys. He knows that he's going to lose players. He gained the 3rd rounder when he lost Phillips, so he basically traded one back. He's going to play that compensation game. He does it very well. That's why he doesn't sign a lot of big free agents also, because when you do, that takes compensation picks away. So Howie's smart enough to realize that he's going to get probably a couple of draft picks for probably AJ. He'll probably get some compensation picks next year again. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Next year is supposed to be, to Mike's point, a deeper draft, much deeper draft, especially a quarterback. This year wasn't really deep at all.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterback, you guys got a quarterback.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, back to the Viking trade, man. I really like this guy because he kind of reminds me, like I saw some tape just recently, and he kind of has that mentality of a Ray Lewis to me. You know, his motor, his attitude and stuff. You know, so I really think it's gonna be a perfect fit for our pass rush to have him in here. Now he did have a shoulder injury.
No, go ahead.
No, I said he did have a shoulder injury, and you know his numbers were down a little bit, but he's like, "Look, I'm gonna get back into double digits, you know, for sacks and stuff." But I like this guy. I mean, I think it's gonna really bring that dog, what you're saying, Jermaine, onto that line, so we can be pretty nasty in the NFC East.
When is the last time? I'm sorry, Sal. When is the last time we had a formidable defensive line and linebackers all put together like this? Crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
when is the last time I don't even think we ever had. Yeah, well, you know, I guess you go back to the 90s when we had the front four and Pitts and Reggie White, Jerome Brown, and then you had Seth Joyner, Byron Evans. That was the last time. You know, and look how bad and look how of a beast we were. With that, we just didn't have an offense. You know,
Well, I think obviously Howie's making over the offense. I mean, you can see it, and I don't know where he's going to go with this. Like, it seems like he's giving Mannion a long leash here to do what he wants to do. And he's picking the players, I think, that fits his system. What the system is and how this guy's going to be able to do it in his first year is a question. Defensively, I think the biggest question mark now is safety. The safety position is not deep at all. So outside of that, that's really all you got. So safety is a problem, and Howie is going to have to address that. And you're not going to bring back Mike's favorite player, CJ, Gardner Johnson again. We're not there. So.
I thought you were going to say Kelly Ringo.
No,
he's still on the damn team.
He is still
on the damn team. So when you trade,
he's on the roster.
When you trade AJ, send Keely over to New England too. You know what I mean? That's seriously. Damn, what is he doing on the damn team?
I can't
cut him now and just cut your losses. You know what? Just pay him to get out of here. How about that? We'll pay your salary and then $2 million on top of that to get the hell out of here.
So
I think like in the old movie Office Space, they forgot he was on the payroll.
Right. Right, Trey. Why is Keely still
getting the check?
I want him to walk out the door and be like, "I was told my stapler wouldn't."
Right. How about we move you downstairs?
This guy,
still getting the check, man.
I don't understand that, man. I want to look at his contract. What are you holding on to him for?
He's got a picture of Howie and his girlfriend, man. Come on. Maybe it's Rossini. He's got a picture of Howie and Rossini. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy. We're going to go down that road. All right.
Well, they did draft a safety, so we'll see how they do. They drafted a safety, Sal. So
they did draft one. But again, that's going to be tough. I mean,
what is that, 6th rounder?
So
he was.
Was it a 6th rounder?
He was 7th round. I'm looking right at it. Cole Winsky. Right?
Mm-hmm.
From Texas Tech. He was a 7th round pick.
With
if he was that with Uar Bernard, the international player.
Yeah, he's interesting. Big dude. Freak athlete. Huge.
Yo, he's a monster.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
can he play football
before?
Well, Mailata couldn't play tackle.
Right. They mentioned about Mailata.
Yeah.
And look where he's at.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Vic got his work cut out for him with Kennard, but I mean, physically the guy, we have to see how he holds up to NFL players. A lot of these guys are physically gifted, but then once they get the wear and tear, it kind of falls apart real quick. But he could be, an amazing story. I'd be interested to see if he makes the team. First of all, you got to make the team.
You got to make the
team. Which is a tough team to make because it is a team that's got a lot of good players on it. So it's one of the things Howie might be like, trade to another team that he could make.
put him on the practice squad, whatever you got to do for a little bit, get him in there.
Yeah.
You know. Switching gears across the state, guys. Pittsburgh. Well, Rodgers is ticked because they signed Drew Aller. Obviously, they drafted him from Penn State, and he flat out told the organization, "You draft a quarterback, I'm not coming back." So he, as of right now, is planning on not coming back, and basically said, "I'm done with you, Pittsburgh." So
Bye.
It'll be interesting, guys. And don't be surprised if Dallas here makes a trade because they're trying to trade one of their receivers. You know who that is, Mr. Pickens. New England is very interested in Pickens, so they might want to see if they can outdo the deal for A.J. Brown, and it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. So it's a lot going on there. What is Pittsburgh going to do at wide receiver? Do they try to get Pickens back? And then what do they do at quarterback? You can't start the season with Aller. I mean, they're going to have to do something. So I don't know, guys. What are you thinking about the Steel City here? They seem like Steel Curtain, man. They close themselves in here.
Aaron Rodgers is an idiot. I never knew how much of an idiot he is. You know, I thought he was just one of the. You know, I put him above Brett Favre and all that stuff. But his head is not in the right place, dude. You maybe what 1 year next year, or maybe 2, maybe. You know what I mean? At what 42 years old or 40 years old or whatnot, and you making a big stint. What are you making a big stint about? It's not like you're back in your heyday in your prime, and you're just screwing You know, I thought Mike McCarthy was your buddy. You know what I'm saying? And now this, it's like. Yep. You know, that's Pittsburgh. It ain't Philly. You know what I mean? It ain't San Fran. You know, that's your problem. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say, you know, about that. That's just crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to sit behind Aller. And it's like, well, nobody said you were going to sit behind Aller.
Yeah, no,
right. Yeah,
no, you can't do that Aller. You got problems.
Yeah. That's a shame. I feel bad. I don't know. I don't know what your wife is saying, Mike. You know what I mean about that. You know, with this Pittsburgh nonsense.
She's done with them.
A bunch of drama.
Yeah, she's done, but she ain't really like them getting rid of Tomlin and moving on to McCarthy. You know, she thought of all things to get Mike McCarthy. It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, right now they're kind of in a struggle right now. You know, this whole quarterback situation, which has been going back all the way to Kenny Pickett. You know, when you pick wrong, you know what happened? What are the ramifications? It's been, you know, they haven't been able to fill, you know, the shoes of Roethlisberger. And
true.
You know, so until they can get that guy that they can start really building around, just kind of be mediocre. I mean, that's what the city's been seeing all this time. They really need to lose. I mean, almost really I hate to say they need to tank, but they kind of do. Yeah. You know, it was that Tomlin curse of always having winning seasons that always puts them in a position to draft in the middle, late rounds of the draft when everybody's already picked over. You know, they need to lose and actually get a high draft pick and get a quarterback and then, you know, start building from there.
Well, this is the year to do it because you know who's coming out.
Oh, Mr. Manning?
Mr. Manning is coming out, guys.
Yeah.
If they do tank, this is the year to do it.
I mean, I look at Pittsburgh, and I'm still not sold on Mike McCarthy. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, when you hear Pittsburgh, what's the first word that come out of your mouth? The nastiness. You know what I mean? They was mean. They was tough, especially on defense.
Everybody all right? Man.
What was that?
Sounds like the whole room collapsed.
Bringing you sound effects of toughness.
Right?
Man.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Sound effects for toughness.
Right on cue.
My bad, guys.
Right on cue. Right through your wall.
It was like that. What was that commercial with that? Was it the woman that was falling down the escalator or something like that? She bounced up there. That's why I was waiting. I was waiting for one of my sons to come down, like, you know, bouncing off the step.
What is going on?
I know, right?
Man.
But all kidding aside, man, I'm just not. I'm not sold on Mike McCarthy. I'm not sold on the Steelers anymore because I feel the Steelers. I feel as though they're soft, and you know, Mike called it. You know, during the last season in podcast, man, they was known for their defense. You know, and I don't know what their draft picks were. So I mean, shoot, you got to go back to where where you had it from. You start from the defense and work on work on your offense. But
right,
I'm just I think they're soft, man. Yeah, and Mike McCarthy is not the answer.
Yeah, I mean McCarthy is a good coach, so at least he's not a bum. But it's just not. It wasn't inspired. I know he's from that area, so maybe that might work out. But they did draft offensive linemen. They got the one guy because of Howie, sneaking in, taking the receiver, and then they got another offensive lineman. So they did have problems last year, kind of running the ball. I mean, they had some big plays here and there, but for the overall, they had offensive line problems. So I think they're trying to get back to smash mouth, NFC East, AFC North football. And then, also build a defense. With Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator, I do think their defense is going to be better this year than last year. So they'll be tough. And look, the Ravens are taking a step back. We know they're taking a step back. The Bengals, it's all Joe Burrow. I do like some of the moves the Bengals did on that defense. They might actually get that corrected. And then, the Browns are going to Browns. I mean, look, they took a receiver and a quarterback and some other jobs.
Jesus Christ, they took another quarterback?
Yes, they did.
They must be going down.
They got 4 quarterbacks competing again for the starting job. It's like, man, just give Sanders the damn job and call it a day and move on or something, man.
Is the Tao even able to play? What is his status? Like,
I think it's the Tao, Sanders, Gabriel, and then the guy they drafted are going to be the ones competing for a starting job.
Jesus. Oh my God.
The entire AFC North has issues.
Yeah, right. They do.
Yeah, they do.
It's like watching the NFC South, with Atlanta and Carolina, where you're like, man, it's going to be a team with a losing record that's going to go to the playoffs.
So they have 4 quarterbacks. And they're still paying like another 2 or 3 that's not even on the damn team. How about that?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
why they call the Browns.
They need to go, man. They need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you look at the Cleveland Browns, it's a laughing stock. And why would you be a Cleveland Brown fan? How about
embarrassing.
that?
They did get a lot of picks. I mean, they wheeled and dealed to get a lot of picks this draft, but that's happened before in the past, so they've had a lot of picks. So, it's kind of half glass empty, half glass full. But, I guess they're trying. I guess.
You think?
The dog pound has become the pussycat pound. How about
that? They ain't been right since the original Browns league left. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. But they left in the middle of the night.
Left on the Mayflower.
I know, right?
Came to Baltimore
on a blizzard snowstorm at that, man. I mean, damn, that's cold.
Man. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the Ravens. Before we get to the Ravens, though, I want to cover 2 other quick teams, guys. First of all, shout out. We talked about Pittsburgh, but real quick before we move on for them, shout out to Tomlin, who's going to be broadcasting now. Hope that he obviously does well. We'll see how he works that out. Will he go back to coaching? I don't know. Once you get into broadcasting, it's kind of a nice gig. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, plus you get a lot of money.
Yeah, and go from there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Let's talk about
the Cowboys, too.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Going nuts over their draft. Everybody's getting all excited. Look, Downs is a good pick. He is going to be the quarterback of their defense. He is very, very good. He's a ball hawk, similar to what we have in Cooper DeJean. He's a good player. Outside of that, Malachi Lawrence, they got Barnum, they got Sheldon from Penn State, who's a decent offensive lineman, but he's a project. Devin Moore, who's pretty decent. And then they drafted a wide receiver out of East Carolina, Anthony Smith. He could be a sleeper. He's pretty good. So I don't know, guys. Outside of Downs, though, I don't know that there's too much exciting there.
No, just like you said. I mean, you said it all right there. Outside of that, that's it. Basically. So, and then you don't know what's going on with this Pickens situation. Yeah. I didn't even. This is new to me tonight. I didn't even know that was still. Not in the. I didn't know that was on the table or not. I thought it was just AJ and the Patriots.
Yeah.
But
But
I
Pickens hasn't signed his franchise tender yet.
Oh, I thought he did, and that's what I thought.
I think they're trying to franchise him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I
So
didn't even
we'll
know
see.
New England. Yeah.
You know the Cowboys, guys. Like you know the way it goes.
I mean, I will say at least the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys, based on what I saw they draft, at least they did address the problem, which was their defense. I mean, their defense was bad last year, so I mean, it was the right, at least side of the ball to put attention to. I'm trying to remember who the defensive coordinator is, if they replaced that guy or it's the same guy from last year.
Yeah, they fired.
They had some changes.
They fired a coordinator.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then they brought in a new guy, and I think this new guy is new to the position as a coach, as a defensive coordinator. So I'm curious, because they fired Eberflus. That's right.
Yeah.
He was bad. So but I mean, they addressing the right side of the ball. I mean, I think Downs. I kind of thought Downs in the hef. I've been talking about it. I kept saying I thought that the Commanders were going to take Downs instead of Sonny Styles, and I think Sonny Styles is a good pick. I mean, I think it was a need for both positions, so they couldn't go wrong either which way. But we'll see what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys thing. They look all exciting, and then they make some noise, and then the season goes on, and they find a way to lose.
Yep. Speaking of the Commanders, you mentioned Sonny Styles, obviously great pick in the first round. They had third rounder, fifth rounder, 2 6 and a seventh. Antonio Williams was their wide receiver from Clemson. Not a bad pick, a really good guy. Joshua Joseph, I don't know much about him. I do know Catrone Allen from Penn State, obviously decent running back, but I don't know. It looks like you got a Greek quarterback in the 7th round, Ethan Kalimanikis. I don't know, whatever you want to call him. But obviously, you're not going to do anything outside of Daniels anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the Commanders, to me, they did a lot through free agency. It didn't seem like they did much through the draft.
They didn't have much. That was a problem. They really gave away a lot of because of the moves they made last year, they gave away picks because they really thought they were further ahead of schedule, like the Tunsil deal. They really felt like, all right, this is, a left tackle, offense will be cooking. And it didn't work out like that. I guess it's real quick. I'm curious to see, because, a lot of people had Washington taking a receiver because Daniels and the offense, Scary Terry was all they had. And Debo's gone and all that kind of stuff. He didn't really do nothing. The concern I have is just the status of the coaching staff, because if you're kind of looking like a one year and you're out, if things don't improve, it's like the biggest thing you could kind of show improvement, at least for fans and stuff, is the offense. So if you can put a receiver in there and kind of get an electric offense, you get everybody excited, you kind of get another year. Defense, we'll see. I mean, I think if Sonny Styles comes in and he is like Fred Warner or Roquan Swift, one of these amazing playmaker kind of guys that can get fans going, that I think that will kind of buy, Quinn another year. But I am concerned about the coaching staff and, taking a defensive pick, might not save their jobs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I'm sorry, Drake. Go ahead, bud.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, but Hef made a good point. This running back by committee. I mean, that's a big deal right there. What running game? You didn't have one last year, and I don't know is Eckler still on the roster?
I don't think so. And then they lost in the Westcott. I thought one of the running backs from last year, I thought was going to. I mean, Krosky Murray, whatever, he's still on the team. Bill. I was calling Bill, but that whole receiver thing, that's the only thing I'm concerned with. That might bite them in the butt, just with not taking, Cornell Tate or one of the other, receivers that was up there that people were saying were the best in the draft, because they really had nothing to pick afterwards into the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got Fatty. They can always get him back.
What happened?
Well, no, he's a free agent.
Oh, he's a free agent. Oh, okay.
And no one's paying him. I kept teasing Hef, and I think it's probably going to still happen. It's going to be Ayuk is going to be the answer at the receiver position. If he's healthy. But I mean, if he's healthy, I mean, he wants to play with Jaden Daniels. He's been saying it forever, so why not? See what happens.
Is he in shape though? Because I mean, he looked out of shape last time I saw him. He looked like
he did look a little big.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk is out there, so
that's what I'm saying. Ayuk is the guy. Right now San Francisco hasn't officially cut him.
Oh, they did.
I don't know what they're doing. I think they're just making it like miserable as much as they can.
Trent Williams.
But at some point, he's going to be gone. And I think Washington is going to kick the tires on him. You know, they've been talking about it forever. It should have happened. They should have traded him while they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be like Ringo. He could be on the team forever. Who knows? So Hef jumped in here. So then CJ Rodriguez are gone. Lair and CJ, and then Ayuk obviously is irrelevant. Veterans minimum salary. Yeah, I mean, you can't expect Ayuk just to come back after not playing in that amount of time, be a number one, or even, I mean, maybe a number two outside of Scary, but who knows? I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get.
I swear, man, NFL players are so spoiled brats. I swear, they are. It sometimes really turns me off to even watch NFL because there are a whole bunch of pansies out here, you know. And I mean, you might have to let the cheerleaders play. The cheerleaders got more heart, or you know what I mean, or more respect of how they get paid than these players, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is, you know.
Hef also wanted to talk about the Ravens. Let's talk about Minter, guys. You think he's going to have a rough first year?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl.
You can rule that out.
I mean, ask anything is possible, but I mean, they still got talented players. I mean, I am very curious to see how Lamar is without Linderbaum, you know, as that center.
Yeah.
You know, that it was a big loss. You know, but I don't know. I feel like Minter. I don't know if it's a fresh set of eyes that they think it is over Harbaugh, you know? I mean, Harbaugh didn't miss the daggone kick. You know, Carroll didn't do all these things. You know, I didn't really see what Harbaugh really did wrong other than just, you know, his teams didn't get over the hump. But, you know, you can't beat Mahomes and you can't beat Allen, some of the best teams and players in the league. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, I know Dre might disagree. He's like, no, Harbaugh had to go. But, I don't know. We'll see what Minter does. I mean, I don't think he'll fall on his face. I mean, he's got too good of a team around him, you know, that I don't think they'll just flat out, you know, be bums. But I don't know how much further ahead they're going to get than what they got last year.
Yeah, I'm looking at them mediocre at best. I mean, that's how I see it, you know.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is a year older. You don't know how many he's got a ton of miles on him. And then, like you said, what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson? You know what I mean? With his coordinator. So, but I look at them maybe mediocre, a little above at best.
But you guys are missing the most important thing. They drafted a punter in the 6th round. They're going to be gold. Ryan Eckley, folks, Michigan State in the 6th round. Punter.
Very exciting.
They call San Fran. That's what happened.
Very exciting.
Well, my team and the picks that we had, I don't know. I mean, I really did like this. You know, you know, they got a running back, which I'm like, yeah, that's great. But they said the dude can't catch. He had like 4 passes in college. I'm like, well, how is he going to fill in for Christian McCaffrey if he can't catch? But that's what CMC does, you know. So what is he? Where is he coming to fit?
Kaelon Black, you know, you're talking about Kaelon Black.
Yeah, and then they got you know the receiver from Ole Miss, Deshaun Triplet, and I just you know whose role is he taking? I mean, they said I guess he's potentially taking over for Juan Jennings, but we still needed more. You know, I mean, Mike Evans is a 1 year. It's like they drafted, like they really felt like we're good with everything we got, so we're just gonna go draft a bunch of players at these different positions just to be backups, but nothing really stood up out as a guy like anyone that they really looked at as like, oh, we think this guy could potentially start for this team. You know, everybody was just like, oh, we're comfortable. And I don't know why we're comfortable. You know, there's a lot of old players on the team, players on the team.
Yes.
I mean, you got to start looking at players being able to take other people's jobs kind of thing. And they didn't really draft like that. They felt like no competition. Like none of these players could give any of the existing players any competition. Is what it felt like.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's wrap it up really quickly. Let's go around the horn. The team that you think improved the most during the draft, really quickly, guys. Let's just go real quick around and we'll end this thing. Jermaine, who you got?
I don't know. I agree with Hef. I mean, this draft is not really, you know, like blow it out the park. You know what I'm saying? So whatever teams pick, you know, the team that they got and all that stuff. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, nothing really slaps you in the face like, whoa. I mean, this is gonna be a game changer. So that's what I see in my opinion. So
all right, Mike.
Man, I gotta say, you guys right now. I mean, I really felt like just the maneuvering that Howie did. I'm not sure how Lemon will turn out, but it's still you needed a receiver. And it's that defensive line, which you've seen with defense winning championships and improving that D line with what they got, and then the trade for Gennard. Yeah, I gotta say, to me, Howie and the Eagles.
All right, Trey.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because even when the last 3 picks in the 7th round, the last one was the outside linebacker named Keyshawn, which is actually kind of like a blanket kind of fill-in kind of guy. So I kind of like that. And then, like I said, I think grade-wise, they did pretty well. We'll see how it does on the field. And when the whole, A.J. Brown thing, goes through, the draft pick might be really worth it. So I'm taking the Eagles.
I like it, and Hef is right. McVay is a loser of the draft. We'll talk about that. He's got a quarterback situation going on there. He's trying not to make it be. They're going to give Stratford an extension. He's trying to make that known. Who do I think made? We haven't talked about him yet, guys, but the team that maybe helped themselves a little bit, you're not going to like this, but the Giants. Here we go, guys. We didn't talk about the Giants.
No, you didn't.
Don't sleep on them. Do not.
I never did. Towards the end of the, when they fired Dable, and then the injuries they had, and remember, guys, for Giants versus Philly, they kicked our ass. The rookies kicked our ass. So I mean, they got potential, and like I said, when Malik comes back, yo, man, they're dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I got them battling. I do have them battling with Philly and New York, going head to head. But I was talking to a Giants fan at work, and basically he was saying, and it kind of shocked me. He said Scatterboo is not the real deal. I mean, he should be pretty much like a fullback. He's not at every down back. Yeah. They need a breakaway back. You know what I mean? And put Scatterboo at the goal line or something inside the 20 and whatnot and pound it in between the tackles. And that's something I had to think about. I was like, yeah, I think he's right. I don't think he's at every 4 down back. But, with that being said, I think the Giants are still going to be, a force to reckon with. You know what I mean?
Agree.
So.
They
went defense again. Yeah.
They had 2 top 10 picks, guys. They get Arvo Reese, which is an excellent pick. Their defensive line is scary, man. And they picked up a good offensive tackle from Miami. So I think they had a good draft. They helped themselves overall. Will it all come together is a question. There's a lot of new pieces. It might take some time, but if they get it together, they could make some noise. I'm not saying they're going to win, the Super Bowl, but they'll.
Yeah, I think they got a recipe to be much improved. Like really, just a lot better. It could be the Eagles and them, neck and neck for the division. It could be one of those things where you got 3 teams in the playoffs, like last year, with Dallas and Eagles and New York could be the 3-team playoff deal, like it was last year with the NFC West and the year before with the NFC North.
Yeah, and Hef's right. Raiders didn't have a bad draft either. And then the Jets got the guy who I wanted. I wanted Sadiq so bad for the Eagles, but they still got a pretty good tight end in any case. But
it's just the Raiders and the Jets are so far behind. So it's like it's all going to look like a good draft, because as Dre used to say, they need everybody. It's like the Jets can use anybody.
Yep.
Suit up.
Yeah. Well, before any other damage happens in Jermaine's background, guys, we'll cut this to you. If you like our show, check out our social media feed online. We're on all the major networks, of course, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We are also on all the major ones like Twitter, of course. We're on TikTok, Instagram, all of those channels. Enough said, crew. If you're interested in reaching out to us, of course, all the emails go to Jermaine. As always, enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. So shout out and say hello. Make sure you get them in there. And we will be back, guys, probably for another round of free agency before everything happens and the start of camps and all that. So if you subscribe to our channels, you'll get an alert when we're on. We'll try to keep you posted on our channels as well.
I want to get a shout out to Hef Streams too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I put it up there for everybody. Go to Hef Streams, man. His Climbback series is the best, man. Go check him out.
It is.
Draft is in DC next year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go.
Yep. And the
That's
All Dressed Up
crazy.
podcast, shout out to them and Fancy. Really good stuff. So we like their show as well. All right, guys. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, man.
All right, everybody. Enjoy.
All right.